I know that it's not always easy, but the three rules to follow from an art perspective is to follow the whole grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, and lean protein. So those are the three things from a food perspective. And then you can get creative, you know. So we've got a lot of things here on my kitchen counter today. You know, starting your day with a kiwi. These are actually shelf stable. They can last on your kitchen counter for about a week. You can get a whole box of them. You can skin them or leave the skin on, depending on how you like the taste and the texture. If you skin them, you can slice them up. You can toss them in with other veggies. Other fruit and berries. These are really good source of vitamin C. So I love fresh kiwis. The other thing you can do is you can take avocados, which are also shelf stable, and you can keep them on your counter until they ripen. And you can throw them in the fridge right when they're starting to turn this like nice brown color, when they're not green anymore. And you throw them in the fridge, and then they last for another week in the fridge. So you can keep these avocados on your counter for a good 3 or 4 days, and then throw them in the fridge and keep them good for another week or so. The other things that you can keep on your counter that are fresh fruit, you can keep a grapefruit. You can keep it in a bowl with other citrus fruit. You don't necessarily want to put like apples or avocados or bananas in with citrus fruit, because it'll actually speed up the ripening process and they'll go bad faster. But again, if this starts to get like a little bit mushy after a few days, throw it in the fridge. So it should last you, about a week or so. So there are sneaky ways for you to, and you can do the same with apples. Also with apples, one thing that I like to do is if they are starting to get like little brown spots on them, I just cut the brown spots off and I mix them with some organic and whole grains. So I have gluten-free whole grains from, I believe this is from Trader Joe's. It's a granola. It's very light in sugar too. It uses coconut sugar. And then I just have my regular old big container from Whole Foods of organic quick oats. And you can use either one of these and make a really nice oatmeal with some apples in it. You can make an organic granola parfait with some apples in it. So this is a way to kind of get those balanced foods. So get creative with it. Use it as an art when you're cooking in the morning and getting your day started. Then with veggies, there's a lot of things you can do. So like this, I just got this yesterday, this big head of celery, and it's already starting to get a little wobbly. So what I'm gonna probably end up doing is I'm gonna use it in everything that I'm cooking today. Maybe not my breakfast, because juicing celery right now doesn't sound like a great option when I have a million things to do. So, and you probably aren't like, oh, yay, we get to spend 25 minutes cleaning our juicer today. So with celery, what I might do is I might like put it into a tuna salad or a chicken salad later today, or I can have it as a snack with some peanut butter or almond butter on it. And then I can throw it into a soup or a stew or a chili later tonight. It's also good in stir fries. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use the vegetables that you have. Just stay creative. Same with carrots, right? Like carrots, you slice them on the bias and you can just roast them up, and they're a great side for any dinner. You can also dip them in hummus. You can cut them into sticks and eat them raw and dip them in hummus. You can add them to soups, stews, and chilies also. So there's a lot of different things you can do. And then with bread is also something that is shelf stable, but it does go stale and it can get moldy depending on the humidity levels in your home. So I actually, as soon as I get bread, I throw it in my freezer. And I have like a bunch of loaves of bread in my freezer right now. And then I take them out when I want to use them, and then I keep them in my fridge. So you do have to heat it up. So either pop it into the toaster or pop it into the microwave in order to get it to not be like cold bread, because that doesn't sound very appealing. But I try to stick with the organic whole grain breads. I think I just got this at Stop and Shop, and it wasn't very expensive, but it's Grace's Baking organic whole grain bread, and it's really delicious. We are what we eat, so we want to make sure that we're not getting too many carbs in our daily diet. So these are big slices. I would probably cut them in half and make a nice sandwich out of them using the tuna salad that I make out of the celery later. So those are ways to get creative. And the science behind this, so we have the art and the science of self-care today. The science behind it is there are more serotonin receptors in your gut than there are in your brain. So if you think about being happy and being able to receive happiness and being able to receive self-love and practice self-care, if you're eating a lot of crap and you're eating a lot of sugar and processed foods, your gut actually can't help you receive all of those happy serotonin enzymes. So keep your gut clean by eating fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and organic grains. Okay, so number 2, small hinge number 2, because this is the art and the science, right? The science behind self-care is that if we don't practice self-care and we don't do things that fill ourselves up, then we end up running on empty. And everybody fails around us. So if we're moms or dads and we're not practicing self-care, guess who it affects? It affects our kids. If we aren't practicing self-care and we're married, or we have a significant other, then guess who else fails? Your significant other. And you don't want to set up people that you love to fail. By practicing self-care, it might seem like a selfish thing to do, but it's actually really not a selfish thing to do. It's something that you need to do in partnership with the people that you care about in your life. And even though we are now in lockdown and in quarantine, it's even more important to practice self-care. The reason behind this from an art perspective is because we want to help block ourselves from these outside stressors, right? So if we are internally focused and we're making sure that we are well and we're taking time, we're taking a break, we're sleeping more, we're drinking our matcha. I've got my matcha going today with my oat milk, really, really good. We're asking for help, it's a big thing. If we're taking care of ourselves, it's almost like we're putting this shield up, this bubble up, where these outside stressors can't permeate and they can't like drive us nuts and they can't take us out. So that's kind of like the art is finding that healthy balance. And then the science behind it is, if you're not taking care of yourself, then you automatically put yourself into this negative downward spiral. And let me give you an example. So like yesterday, I really wanted to do this live, but I just didn't have time. I had my daughter got in my bed, my 5-year-old, my youngest daughter, got in my bed the night before at 3 a.m. and she had me up from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. And I was just exhausted. And I had planned to get up early and to make breakfast and to be energized and have my caffeine in the morning before I got on my live stream. And I couldn't get out of bed until I think like 8 o'clock in the morning, which is really late for me. So I didn't get out of bed until 8 o'clock in the morning. And then, it was just like, there was already a list of emails in my inbox and I just started working and never stopped. I didn't stop until very late last night. So I apologize. It was something that I wanted to do, but I did have to take a break yesterday. I had to go for a walk and get outside. It was a beautiful day. And if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't taken a break and went outside and just was in my own space, what would have happened is I would have started to get anxiety. Those outside stressors, right, would have started to really affect me. And then I would have started to feel resentful about my daughter waking me up in the middle of the night and my job keeping me busy all day. And nobody wants that, right? You don't want to start that downward spiral of feeling resentment and feeling angry and feeling stressed out. So it's really important to take care of yourself, both from a scientific perspective and also just from a from a self-love perspective. If you're not actually taking care of yourself, you're going to start feeling resentful of yourself too. So those are the two small hinges for the day. Keep it clean. Thank you, Romy. Yes, it is. It is so, so true. Today is Wellness Wednesday, and I can't think of a better thing to talk about than the art and science of self-care. I have my two small hinges for the day are keeping your food clean, because we are what we eat. So fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and organic whole grains. And then taking care of yourself. And if you can't do it, if you find yourself like stuck and you're like, I know I should take a break, I know I should practice meditation, I know I should just go for a walk, I know I need to take a bath or sit in the corner or read a book or watch a show by myself or whatever it is, but you just can't do it, enroll other people. If I tell my kids that mommy needs alone time at 4 o'clock, guess what? They'll come upstairs at 4 o'clock and be like, Mom, it's time for your alone time. You got to go sit by yourself. So enroll your kids, enroll your spouse, your significant other. If you are living alone, call a friend and say, hey, listen, can you call me at 5 o'clock and just remind me that I need to shut down my computer and I need to, just de-stress, and whatever that means for you, they can hold you accountable. Set it a timer in your calendar. Set a calendar reminder, take care of Lindsay, go for a walk, do something alone, practice meditation, color, doesn't matter, whatever it is, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day. We need it. We need to refill our tanks so that we're not running on empty, so that we're not setting everybody up in our lives to fail, and we're not setting ourselves up for failure in the short term and in the long term. So that is my live for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back here tomorrow morning. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do. It's typically Thirsty Thursday, but it's also Thankful Thursday. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, or something that you really want to talk about with me, ping me, PM me. If you have my email or my phone number, send me a text or an email. I would love to hear from you. I really do enjoy doing this with you every day, and I love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if you can, get outside, just socially distance.